what does HPV look like and how does it work? The structure of HPV contains a single strand of double-stranded DNA inside of a protein shell made out of L1 and L2 proteins that are virally encoded. Similarly to other viruses, the HPV virus needs a host cell in order to replicate. Once HPV enters a normal cell, it integrates its genome with the genome of the normal cell, hijacking the normal functions of the cell. In order for HPV to lead to cervical cancers, the E6 and E7 replication proteins have to be expressed. And to do so, the viral DNA gets transcribed into mRNA and translated in the ribosome to produce viral proteins.
HPV effects. Human papillomavirus has two main effects, warts and cancer. Warts are described as small, non-cancerous skin growths and are more than likely caused by HPV. The warts list include genital warts, common warts, warts that are found on the hands, plantar warts, warts that are found on the feet, flat warts, small warts around the mouth, and filiform warts. Warts found in the face, neck, eyes, or lips. There are plenty of variations of the HPV virus. HPV 6 and 11 are likely what causes warts. The other main effect of HPV is cancer, which is not always the case, but a very important risk factor. The cancers HPV causes include oral cancer, cervical cancer, penile cancer, vulva cancer, anal cancer, and vaginal cancer. The variations to cause cancer are likely HPV 16 and 18. Luckily, cancer from HPV takes a long time to develop, which is why it's not always the case. Screenings, tests, and checkups are very important in preventing this effect.
So, how is HPV contracted, and how can you get it and spread it? You can get infected with HPV by having any kind of sexual contact, vaginal, anal, or oral. And so, who is at risk for getting HPV? The short answer is anyone having sex. If you're engaging in sexual intercourse, you are at risk of exposure. And if your partner has been exposed to HPV, you are also at risk. You can get infected even if your partner is not showing signs or symptoms like genital warts. The CDC also notes that even if you've only had one sexual partner, you can still contract the virus, as symptoms can sometimes develop years after having sex with someone infected. That's why it's hard to know when you first got it. And that's why the more sexual partners you or your partner have, the higher your risk of contracting HPV. And so HPV is the most common sexually transmitted infection. And according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, as of 2024, more than 42 million Americans are infected with HPV. And about 13 million Americans, including teens, become infected each year. The virus is spread mainly through skin-to-skin contact, not through bodily fluids such as blood, semen, or saliva. And unfortunately, this means that genital-to-genital contact without penetration and even kissing, although rare, can spread HPV. But on the upside, you can't get HPV from hugging or holding hands, from sitting on toilet seats or going in swimming pools, going in hot tubs, or sharing food with people, or sharing utensils with friends.
How is HPV treated? It isn't. There is no current way to cure HPV, only prevent. Treatment is available for other health issues that it might cause, like genital warts, cervical cancer, and other types of cancers. Medication and surgical procedures are forms of treatment for these symptoms. Some types of HPV clear on their own, but they can reappear. How is HPV prevented? HPV is prevented through the practice of safe sex as a preventative measure. HPV vaccine is the most effective method of infection prevention. While there are multiple HPV vaccinations available, Gardasil 9 is the only vaccine used in the United States since 2017 due to its range of HPV coverage. While it does prevent the development of genital warts, its primary purpose is to prevent the development of cancers as a result of the contraction of the HPV virus. Gardasil 9 works by using HPV particles to help your body prepare itself when it comes into contact with the HPV virus, protecting from further infection. How effective is Gardasil 9? If you were vaccinated before being exposed to the virus, The HPV vaccine is 97% effective in preventing cervical cancer and cell changes that could lead to cancer. Plus, it's almost 100% effective in preventing external genital warts, though it is recommended to be vaccinated before an individual is sexually active.